It was alright. It was alright.
Like a 6 out of 10.
It's like a 6.5 out of 10.
Elaborate on 6 out of 10. Sophomore year, don't remember much about it. Therefore, 6 out of 10.
I liked it. We won state.
We did win.
Did you get a rainbow?
No.
Yeah.
Remy Kasarjan did.
Remy Kasarjan. Remy Kasarjan's a 10 out of 10. And that's where you cut it. He's not cutting it. He's going on.
Stop. I don't like this anymore. I'm gonna start driving erratically.
We don't know where we're going.
Let's find something close.
Do you know any of the
No, I'm not
any
a
places
cameraman.
here? You live here now. Do you know? Are you a real friend, Noah?
When the camera's on, I'm a completely different person. And that is...
I can't handle it. I just...
Followed by this.
So, Peyton, what grade did you come in?
I came in sophomore year. I got to St. Margaret's.
Would you like to talk about that? How was the experience for you?
I would love to. It was interesting. Like, I came from Huntington Beach High School, which is honestly like, it's the most different possible high school experience from St. Margaret's. I had moved around schools a lot. I think I've been to 6 or 7 schools since kindergarten or whatever, and Huntington was like the first place where I had like, not that I didn't make friends at other places, but where I'd begun to like really know them for a while, and I could tell that I was gonna have the next 4 years ahead with them, and that was really, really exciting. And then like, I applied really late to St. Margaret's. It was like April, like early April I applied. I found out I got in like last day of school at Huntington, and I was sitting there going, oh my God, like I finally have this group of friends that I know I'm gonna be with for a long time. I got home from school that day and I looked at my parents and I was just like, I need to go to St. Margaret's. This is the place.
I don't remember.
We were in an abyss. Sophomore was great.
Dr.
love sophomore. Yeah, Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob was retired. She didn't care about like life at all, but it was great.
Sophomore year was like a weird year. Like freshman year, like the new people, so you're like the fresh meat or whatever. And then junior year, you're like finally an upperclassman. And then senior year is like self-explanatory. Like you're a senior, you don't have much to do anymore. Sophomore year, just kind of like, you're just stuck there. You're not an upperclassman yet, but you're also not the new kid. So you're just kind of like old news.
When I came to St. Margaret's, I don't know, like I didn't really want to talk to anyone. I was not having a good time, but then like, I'd be walking through the halls and then like people that I'd seen probably like once in my life would be like, hey Michelle, and I'd be like, what is your name? I felt that it was a lot less cliquey. Like everyone was a lot like nicer and like more welcoming. Which I appreciated.
Sophomore year was sophomore year is that year that it's just like you're like it's like kind of the middle school.
It was the
of high
lost
school.
generation.
It's like the middle school of high school. You're in between like being the
generation.
babies and like being the upperclassmen. So it's like
Yeah, you're not like super noticed.
Because freshman year, I think everything's like so new to you that it just kind of like sticks in your memory. And junior year was last year for us. Sophomore's just kind of like that awkward year, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Plus everybody gets like fat in sophomore year too.
What are you talking about? What are you saying? What's gonna happen? No. Are you calling us fat maybe in sophomore?
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe that was just me.
I found that offensive.
That's what's due on Tuesday.
On the thing, it says like part 1 is like through chapter 5, and then it goes to chapter 9.
Me and Fred were in Los Honores in the Inglés, and it was
English, please.
Lo siento. We were in English honors, and we had quite a few journals, and we learned that procrastination is real bad.
That was Frankenstein.
Oh, I did that
Dorian
one day.
Gray.
It was
Shar did it like
awful.
the day before.
Yeah, I did them the day
School.
before.
I waited until like literally 2 weeks before to start, and I could have probably changed that a bit.
No, I think I did it the week before.
I think I did the day before.
I procrastinate all the time. I procrastinate for everything. And so I felt kind of like nervous, but then I also just realized like, oh, it's okay, I'll just do them like the week before. I ended up doing them the week before, and not a good plan. Not a good plan.
The night before, and I like wasn't used to ever having summer homework, so it's kind of like, well, what are these guys doing to me? Like, I want a life.
Did it the week before.
I did it on a
Regretted it,
Yeah.
but then repeated it every summer after.
I was the same way. I started it all like the last week.
I feel like I put way too much effort into it.
Well, you see, I had my journals, and then they were in my backpack, and they got stolen, and so I did it all the night before.
I just waited and did them like 2 nights before, but I did it for sunset.
I didn't do my summer journals.
I'm really, really happy we have Mr. Mosley. I mean, walking around campus every day, and he's always like repping the tartan and the plaid, and he just seems like he's really, really happy to be on campus. It's an awesome vibe. I mean, like playing lacrosse, I remember we had a game in like Palos Verdes, which is God knows how far away. It was like 100 degrees out, and we look out, and obviously there's just no fans there. It's on a Saturday, and Mr. Mosley's up in the stands, still wearing his suit, and everyone's just like, why is he here? So I think that just says a lot about him and like how much he cares about his community. He's awesome. I love him.
I absolutely love Mr. Mosley. I remember the very first day he came, and he was like pushing around a cart full of like cupcakes and cookies and like giving them to all the teachers, and I thought that was the nicest thing in the world. He's like always involved. He goes to everything. If you're at an event for St. Margaret's, he's there, just always participating. So I really like him. He's a really cool guy.
His middle name is Noise. It's pretty dope.
Maybe there's a little
Makes
person
noise.
I thought his middle name was Danger.
Make some noise.
Good man.
Great man.
We see.
Very kind.
He's always
Very
glad
kind.
to see us.
Yeah.
I see you.
I see you.
I see you. Yeah.
I see you, and I'm glad to be with you.
Happy. It's glad.
Oh, you said happy. Stupid.
Hot pavement, hot, sketchy building district, and bugs in the food, and them telling us that it was okay because it was protein. And then they made us eat it.
So yeah, sophomore year, instead of doing like a fun like retreat at the beginning of the year, like, oh, let's go do ropes courses or whatever they did in previous years, it was like, oh, let's go do community service, which, you know, I'm always down for community service. I like giving back to the community.
I ate a bug.
Yeah,
So
well, Miss
hot.
Warby told us which one she made, and she made it like really healthy, so I obviously went to like her place.
I'm surprised they had us like actually eat it.
I don't remember eating
I ate it. I mean, I was hungry.
I was okay. I ate it.
And so they had us drive like 30 minutes into Rancho Santa Margarita, and it was a really, really hot day, and there was like some organization, I don't remember the name of it, and basically what we were doing was we were packaging food, like kind of meals, to send to people, kids in Africa. I think it might have been Malawi.
Okay, so David and I were the sophomore class reps, and they asked David and I to like organize the whole thing and run it. So while everyone was getting really busy filling in like bags full of like lentils, rice, and chicken and spice, David and I were just kind of standing at the tables with like megaphones, just be like, okay, good job guys, like keep up the good work. So I didn't have to do one thing.
I just remember there were bugs in like the rice and lentils that we were giving them, and it was like 1,000 degrees. It was not very fun, but I mean, we fed people, so that's important.
I elected myself as the supervisor and made sure everyone else was working.
Lentil spiced chicken and rice.
Woo! How do you remember that?
He's got a story.
He's got a story to tell.
I got a story.
Yeah, it was a hot summer day.
Speak up, son.
So I made the stupidest decision of my life. Got on the bus. There were some almonds in my left hand. There were cars going by the window. Split second decision. Threw them out of the window. Hit some cars. Confessed immediately.
Turned myself in.
Yeah, turned myself in.
No one else did.
Called the police. And went to jail for a couple months. No, do you remember like when we were sitting over there and we were talking about like we had all of us and I was talking about the almond incident? I want you to know I was framed.
So Yik Yak is basically an app where users in a surrounding area can just submit to kind of like an open forum, and it was pretty unregulated. I mean, they could just post funny stuff about what's going on at school or within kind of like the mile radius, I don't know what it was. And everybody within that radius that also had the app could see it.
I think it was meant for colleges, like originally.
Yep, genius idea for colleges.
Yeah, it's very funny at
For high
colleges.
school students,
I mean,
the worst idea possible.
Colleges use it. It's like this anonymous thing where you can go post comments about whatever you so feel like. At St. Margaret's, it happened to be a way to roast kids anonymously. So.
Because what else was it going to be used for?
That's true.
You can't start it off like really funny, and then it just got horribly mean and like out of control.
You could also like upvote yaks, I remember.
Oh yeah.
And it was kind of a competition, like
Get the most yaks.
I think like
is it up yak?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Up
Chase
yak.
Haller.
Up yak.
He had a lot of up yak.
He had a lot of up yaks. He was an up yaker.
Good for him. His weren't offensive. His were just funny.
No,
I didn't think.
Yik Yak was a dark place. Words were said. People were hurt. I laughed a lot.
It was kind of sad, but like no one really like took like. I mean, I guess it was kind of serious, but no one really took it seriously. Like it was all the like upperclassmen just like making fun of people. Good times.
One of my friends in a younger grade actually got the worst of Yik Yak, where many of the older guys decided to single her out a lot. And I hate Yik Yak for it because she was so sad. That was just a horrible app.
Marmelstein, like, I remember he posted something on Yik Yak telling everyone to come out to like the quad, and then we all had to like talk about Yik Yak. He posted on Yik Yak.
I learned a big life lesson that real men settle things behind the belly and not on social media.
Marmelstein told us a story about how if any kids had any trouble with another kid, he would take them and bring them behind the school for, a solid beatdown to settle their issues, compared to, how we were doing it on Yak.
All I know is that he would, anytime there was a quarrel, he'd go behind Luigi's Market and just go pow, pow, pow.
It was, some of them were pretty funny, not gonna lie, but a lot of them were pretty mean.
Savage. And then like when he was talking about it, Alex Marcoux told me to look at Mr. Bennett, and it looked like he was sleeping. I started laughing, and then Mr. Marmelstein saw me, and he asked if this like whole thing was funny, and it was horrifying.
We graduated 5 seniors that year, and so going into sophomore year, we were kind of short on players. We had 1 senior. It's kind of rough, but thankfully we had Hillary Beale, who was on the national team, and she's a really good goalkeeper. So we went into the first game, and she broke her hand, which was really cool. And then we went on like a 10-game losing streak, which was really fun. We lost to Sage and Crean, and got 3rd in league.
And so, I mean, going into CIF, we were kind of like the underdog because we got like 3rd place in league, and so we weren't really expecting to do that well. But it was crazy. First, we were the wild card, and so the first game, I sent a girl off in a helicopter.
Well, first of all, we kind of sucked throughout most of the season.
Yeah, we were terrible.
We lost a good majority of our games.
So many of them.
I don't know, man. It's just hard work and determination.
In the quarterfinals, we had an away game at La Quinta High School, which is out in the desert.
La Quinta was hectic. It was so rainy. It was freezing. None of us wanted to go there. We wanted the game to be canceled.
We lost, but then we kept it going, and then it got everybody super pissed off.
They had a violation and they were disqualified because one of their players who had gotten a red card in the previous game wasn't allowed to come to the game, and she was on the sidewalk. So we were back in it, and everyone was kind of shocked, like excited, but just kind of like, do we really deserve this? So then we played the semifinal game and scored, I'm pretty sure, within the first 30 seconds of the game, and probably shouldn't have won it, but we did.
And then we made it to the finals.
Probably shouldn't have won that game either.
And I don't know, we just kind of went out there and we were like, wow, we've like had the worst season ever and we shouldn't be here, so now we have to win.
And it was so funny because when they were like announcing everybody's names at the beginning, they're like, this team is 21-0, and then they like call us and we're like 5, 6, and 8, and like just really random stats.
It was tied up the whole game. Hillary played a great game, and then it was like the last 2 or 3 minutes in overtime, which is golden goal, so if you score, then you win. They had a handball in their box, so we got a penalty kick. And Alexa Barbarisi, our only senior, went up and scored it. And it was crazy, and we all rushed the field and freaked out, just like, wow, how do we even do this?
We were so terrible.
It was one of my like things coming into high school that I was like, okay, before I leave, like I really want to win CIF. So I was like, I guess this is the year, even though we played terrible. So I was like, okay, we just keep winning. I don't know why this is, but like I'm happy about it. So
hard work and determination is key. Yes, this is true. It's hot.
Hard work.
We scored more goals than our team. It was awesome.
I still got that photo.
Hard work and determination. Hard work, determination.
So funny.
I felt nothing when sophomore year was over. Just another year of my life gone.
Oh. Sophomore year is kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like that awkward stage of your life, like 7th grade when you're going through puberty. It's like all those like awkward voice cracks. I don't know.
I had a lot of fun sophomore year. I really enjoyed it while I was in it, but looking back on it, there's just not necessarily anything that stands out, which I didn't not enjoy it, and there wasn't any lack of things. I just think there wasn't any special standout thing that had to do with sophomore year in terms of school.
Like, just so excited. It was a really sucky year. I mean, like, it was a good year, but after, like, AP tests and just kind of, like, I don't know, the year was fun and also a little bit, I don't know. I was just glad it was over.
Yeah, I think we all just started to pay really hard attention to, like, our classes that year, so that kind of probably had a lot to do with it.
But I know I like looked up a lot to like the upperclassmen because like Ariana said they were really close. So I was hoping like our grade was gonna become like that.
I was excited for junior year because I still knew that there was one more grade above me that I was close to, but I cried a lot. A lot. I miss it. All the time.
Actually going to a dance for the first time in my high school career and just dancing was like the most fun I had in a year. It was the best.
Hello, bathroom friends. How are you all doing today?
Let's go get one.
Chase, I'm gonna rip your lanyard. Please don't. Can you reach?
Oh wow! Pick it up. Oh, puts it in.
You get it? Nope.
Welcome to St. Margaret's. Make sure to take AP Physics while you're here. Mr. Arliss, please send me my extra credit. Thank you.